welcome to the Nerd Age Podcast. This is a show we talk about all things nerdy. My name is Jonah. I'm here with Corey.
Yo.
Josh.
What's up?
And we got special guest today, Joel, visiting us from Mexico. So we are going to get a little of his reaction on some of the news today and some of our, just what we have planned for this episode. We're going to start.
It is our Make-A-Wish, so his Make-A-Wish to be here. So he made it.
Yeah, there'll be a GoFundMe that we post later. But so we recorded last week, the day before the Superman trailer dropped. So we're going to start with our reaction to Superman. We're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to let, Corey, you want to go first with this?
Sure, I guess.
I think you'll be the more positive one, right?
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. We don't want to start with me.
Sure, 100%. You're right. It was a trailer, and it was something that I thought they wouldn't call it a trailer. Like, I thought it was more of like teaser because there wasn't much. Like, there wasn't much, but there was a lot. Like, they showed a lot of different people and a lot of different scenes, and I was like, what is this movie going to be about? Because there's so many different, like, main, like, character changes between different people, and, like, he was in the apartment, and then he's over in the Arctic, and then these other characters, like the guy, what was the guy with the black mask? What's his name?
Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Fantastic.
And, yeah. And
Mr. Incredible was in this? The Pixar crossover?
They've got a lot of characters here.
Yeah,
a lot
Hot Girl was in it, Guy Gardner.
Girl, and I'm just like, man, there's a lot of stuff they're showing, but they weren't really saying anything.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Music was not great for what they were showing. Like, they had all this high intensity and all this stuff. It's like, boom. Like, just the single note. Like, they tried to make it, like, maybe, like, intense or something. But I don't know. It just didn't come off super great.
Yeah, they mixed the John Williams original theme with the Top Gun electric guitar that they were trying to do. That
yeah. But like at the very beginning, it's like it doesn't even get going. For like
and it kind of builds towards
seconds.
the episode.
Yeah.
It starts, with Crypto, which Crypto to me is just I don't like Crypto.
Why do you hate dogs, dude?
It just makes the character seem just kind of like campy for me. So I've never really liked Crypto in the comics. So the fact that they're using Crypto was just, I don't know. And that's how you started off. Take me home.
You didn't shed a cheer?
No,
I
didn't.
When Crypto came out and he went.
No, I didn't.
Okay, you know how they had that little set piece where he's like in the ground, kind of like Yamcha and Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. He had the Yamcha
He
pose.
like didn't look believable that he fell in, like he got launched down and he's falling from
That's
the
what
sky.
I was gonna say.
Like it looks so bad. Like where's the snow on him? Where's the ripped part of his
There's
suit?
I saw someone
spitting blood though.
I saw
they have a blood packet in his mouth.
I saw someone post the clip from Man of Steel when Man of Steel falls into the snow when he's trying to fly. He destroys a whole mountain. Like he goes through the mountain, the whole mountain crumbles, right? And there's like a huge crater. And this one, it's like he comes down. It's like, some snow has been displaced. It's just kind of like that whole idea. Like,
it's not even
they're levels.
It's not even deep enough to make a outdoor camping ground or anything like that, or a fort.
Well, I think like for me, it's a little echoey.
He's
I'm
not
not
plugged in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We got you.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you.
They didn't even want me to talk. So, coming from a guy who's not really big on, let's see, getting hooked up. Hello.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that's
Wow.
it. Let's pull this over here.
I liked it better when he was unplugged.
It's a professional podcast, guys.
So what I'm saying is,
No, so basically, like I'm not. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of like the whole superhero thing. It's kind of lost interest in it. Maybe I'm like the man on the street type of guy. So my nerd credentials maybe are going to be revoked. But I saw it as really. It seemed kind of fakey. Like even in the beginning shot, and the extras are walking through the street. I was looking at the extras, and they were like, it looked very TV to me, right?
CW.
And so So it looked like that. It was really bright. It had
like if
those
CW
things.
did a movie.
His hair, like his poofy
broccoli hair
as he was walking around, and it was kind of bouncing around. I don't know,
Guys, it's hair.
right? I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, it's hair.
Just a bad look.
It's super, but it just there are things that put like attention to detail, and you kind of say, okay, so when you don't have those things, it's really evident. And so, like someone with an experience, I mean, I'm going to say it like Zack Snyder, because we have the comparison of Superman, modern superhero movies, and you have like the amount of detail placed into those things. When you remove it, it's very evident. And so I think that's one of the things that's happening here, where you can see it and you're like, huh, I wonder, who knows how this is going to be? But the trailer did not impress me.
Bro, it sucks, dude. It looks like the Flash. You know what I mean? Like it looks like the Flash coloring.
It's the same cinematographer.
Like, all that.
Okay. So
even the props,
Yeah.
everything how it's like dealt with like CGI and effects.
Well, the
like
shots in the desert, there was just like
Looks
tents
weird,
and a
bro.
flat desert. I'm like, that's exactly what the third act of the Flash was.
Right.
A flat
Was there
salt
shots
place.
of the desert, or you're meaning the like Antarctica?
No, in the desert
fight.
when the kid is raising the flag, and he's like
Oh,
Superman,
yeah,
Superman,
yeah,
and there's
yeah,
also
the
a shot where Mr. Fantastic,
Dude,
it's Mr. Terrific, isn't it?
it's terrific.
Yeah, it's Mr. Terrific. Did you say
I thought
Mr.
you were
Fantastic?
joking with Fantastic.
Oh, what?
It's terrific.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
terrific.
terrific.
I thought you guys were just lolling me.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific. He's standing there and he puts a force field around. They're shooting at him. It's like, okay, it's a flat desert
Yeah.
area. It just does look like the Flash, like you said, an ugly movie.
Guy Gardner.
Dude, that's
What?
that's probably like my least favorite thing in this whole trailer is the fact that,
Dude.
like, I mean, you sent the picture of Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber with that haircut.
Or there's that, or the Addams Family. Like it's like
bad.
some things. Like yes, it's comic accurate, but some things don't translate. Good.
Right.
Like you can still. I guess the creator of Guy Gardner was like, "This is a travesty. This is terrible. I can't believe." He's like,
Really?
"This is."
Really?
He said, "This is embarrassing."
Yeah, because there's obviously you're writing it for the media that it's on, right? So you're designing this character to live on a comic book page, where it has ridiculous, really poppy colors and halftone dots and fun, bam, pows and stuff like that in some.
right.
But when you go live action, guess what? There needs to be some adaptation to make it feel like it's normal and natural in the world that they're recording and that they're telling the story of.
Well, that leads you back to crypto, right? So how are you going to have a puppy carrying Superman by his cape? Is Superman going to be flapping in the wind behind him? Is he going to be bouncing off the ground? Like,
Yeah.
there has to be some
Lot of
adaptation
snow.
for it to not look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if they actually hit the mark. But there has to be like this balance, and who knows if they're going to hit it? I don't think so.
Crypto can't be in the movie a ton, right?
Oh, they're probably
He's the heart of
James
movie.
Gunn said that
Like second character?
he's a big part of this movie, and that the other thing he said after the trailer was he's not even the cutest or best dog in the movie. So people are like, to me, it's just like a trope to be like, hey, let's make it. It's the Marvel formula, like
dancing group.
fun, joking. It's got to be enjoyable, fun. But to me, back to the Guy Gardner stuff, I think they're going to use the look as a story beat, because if you notice, even in the behind the scenes pictures that were leaked, all the like Hawk Girl, all of them have like a Max Lord insignia on their suits. So I think what they're doing is these superheroes exist, but they're corporate. So James Gunn's brother plays Max Lord. Sean Gunn is playing Max Lord. So what I'm assuming is all these superheroes exist. They have these goofy corporate suits. Superman's going to come in, and the big change that he's going to do is they're going to be like, I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to be myself.
And he's going to get a different
And at the
haircut?
end, they're going to get different suits that are more like you become who you really are meant to be, because Superman inspires that, which I think is just like a really superficial way of doing it. But I think that's what the whole plan is, to be like, oh yeah, they look goofy now, but Superman inspires them to look cool later. But at the same time, I'm like, Superman's suit sucks. Like even Superman's suit is lame.
It wasn't super. I think a lot of just like the design we already talked about it, like the brightness of it, it just feels off. You know what I mean? And even like the short glimpse we saw of the kaiju, I was like, the design of that monster looks pretty dumb, like from the brief shot that we had of it. So I think overall I'm like pretty down on the trailer, not super excited about it.
Super down on Superman.
But it was comic book accurate because they're doing Godzuki, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
That is true. Ain't good. They better play that music though. The one thing that drove me nuts. This was the reaction to the trailer. So Monday, they did a trailer release party for certain critics, for social media influencers, YouTubers, and they showed the trailer there, and then they had these like Q&As or like little content creation things to do with Gunn and Corn Sweat and all these other guys. And then on Thursday, all these content creators dropped like all these videos of them reacting to the trailer as if they reacted for the first time, but they actually saw it on Monday. And then they released all their like content with James Gunn and talking about all this stuff. And then Friday, all those people that reacted to those trailers that were already invited, then Warner Brothers released a clip of them saying positive things about the trailer and reacting and being like, oh my gosh, look at the hype is insane. But I'm like, you basically just paid for all of that. Every movie does it. I get it.
Yep.
That's what it's done. But to me, it's just interesting to be like, it's really disingenuous to be like, you're not really going to say anything negative about something because you want to be invited back to other events, especially if you're a content creator. It's like, man, how many people get to have an interview with James Gunn and post on their TikTok? Like, you're going to want to toe the line and say like, oh, this was awesome. I can't wait. This is amazing. We're back. DC is back, because you're like, yeah, I want to be invited again. I want to get merch. I want to get stuff for free. Like, hey, we do the same thing, you know? But I'm just saying, like,
we have not done that, by the way.
But I'm just saying, like,
I would refuse to.
That drove me a little insane to be like, you guys just posted, like,
Unless it's
you
Legos.
guys saw this on Monday, and now you're reacting to it as if it's the first time you've ever seen it. It drove me a little nuts.
I mean, it's the reality of things. I mean, this happens in every industry. Happens in video games. Happens in movies, shows. Yeah, it exists. That's why that's why it's awesome to see people get smart when it comes to websites like IGN, GameSpot, and all those different, video game. And they're also now movie critics now too.
Well, we just lost that sponsorship.
IGN?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was working on that.
Yeah, shoot. But yeah, I mean, it's just pretty normal. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, if you guys want to invite us, we'll come for sure.
Yeah,
no worries.
We'll pretend that it's our first time seeing the trailer.
Yeah, whatever.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh, chills.
Oh wow, I literally had tears streaming down my face. Superman's back.
When crypto came, yeah.
Touching. It is crazy the amount of people. I don't like to make fun of people, but but I'm going to. The amount of people that I saw that were like posting their reactions, and like that was the caption of like,
there's hope again.
There were tears streaming down my. I'm like, what?
What? That was the one I saw. They're like, we have hope again.
That's the one thing that drove me nuts.
Stories.
They said the one thing that this trailer tells us about the movie is that hope is back with Superman. I was like, what part of this
they're reading it.
Yes, they are.
Bro.
That's something they're like, hey, you got to say this. Hope is back. I'm like, where? Because that's the thing that's been driving me nuts too, is because so many people complain about Snyder's version, and they're like, Superman never smiled. Superman doesn't smile once in this trailer, and people are like, their hope's back. I was like, yeah. Then whenever I've asked people about it, they're like, oh, well, it's the kid holding the flag. That was the hope. I was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's Superman, hope. There it is.
It's the underwear on the outside. Yeah. That's the hope.
That thing drives me insane. So there's, I think I might have told you that. Maybe I told Josh. So Real Rejects, I like Real Rejects. They do some trailer reactions, but I was blown away by how ridiculous it was. Because they got invited to the thing on Monday, and they're telling the story that one of the best things that happened was Darren Cornsweat was talking about the trunks and why they wanted to put them on the outside. And he goes, and I've never heard anyone say this. I started crying in the event. He's like, I'm going to tear up now just thinking about it. But he said the reason he wears they brought the underwear out and James Gunn was like, it just doesn't look, the suit looks too bright. It shouldn't be that way. And he was like, no, James, the suit is perfect. That's how bright it should be because it's about the children. He's so powerful. He doesn't want the children to be afraid of him. And so the bright colors in the underwear helps him to, and I'm like, and he's like, I just started tearing up. I'm like, what part of that makes you?
I'm pretty sure if one of the kids saw one of their uncles in underwear, they'd be screaming and running away.
Exactly.
I'm going to be honest.
Well, I'm like, just thinking in real life, like Batman is one of the most popular superheroes and he wears all black. Like he's a scary dude. So kids will be fine. I don't think, in my head canon, the new Superman is a huge Nacho Libre fan. And he just, saw Nacho Libre, and that's what he loved to do. What do you guys think? Because everyone's freaking out about the number of views this has gotten. It broke the record for the most views of a trailer in 24 hours for a Warner Brothers movie.
For a
Warner Brothers
but
movie.
It's like fourth all time behind Deadpool and Wolverine and Endgame and stuff like that. But what do you guys think, like, now that you're seeing kind of the hype, and do you think this movie, box office wise, does it break $1 billion? Does it 600, 800? What are you guys thinking just as of now? What are your predictions?
I think it. So seeing all the people freaking out about it. So this is the problem. I don't know what the man on the street's going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But based off of the hype, I feel like it'll get close to breaking $1 billion.
Yeah.
And I feel that's because we're at a point, kind of how with some of the older Marvel movies, where it was like, that movie wasn't that good, but everyone was like, it's so amazing.
Yeah. I
gotta go watch it. James Gunn, I love Guardians. You know what I mean? So I feel like part of that is what's going to push it.
I would say yes, but I think that there are a lot of people that are just going to go see if it's a train wreck, And if it's a 6, it'll be like, okay, and it'll do well enough for this to put a little, like a crusade on James Gunn to be like, see, I told you so. I should have, but I don't think it's going to have, I don't know. I think James Gunn is kind of like a one-trick pony. Like his movies are all the same. And so this will be like, it's the new thing and blah, blah, blah. And I think it'll do well enough for that to choke him with the next movies. Right. Because it'll just, I think it's going to go like
it'll
this.
Be
That's my opinion.
It'll
be enough
get him
for Warner Brothers to be like, oh my gosh, it's resurging the whole Marvel, blah, blah, blah. We're going to make a huge cinematic universe with what? With James Gunn?
Clayface.
I mean, I don't think it. Yeah.
The one thing that they do have going for them is people will take their kids to watch this. So they will have what Marvel's had is kind of like, oh, this is a kid friendly kind of stuff. BVS, when that came out, a lot of people aren't going to be like, oh, that movie looks really dark. Let me take my kids. But you're going to have a lot of families go to this. I don't think it'll break $1 billion, but I think it might get 700 and 800 kind of million. Corey, what do you think?
I mean, it's still Superman, right?
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most notable, iconic superheroes. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks $1 billion, but
how much did Man of Steel make?
600 and something.
You think it'll beat, and then
I think it probably will.
Yeah, I could see it. People are
basically, it's not going to be a better movie.
I could see it hurt you,
but
when you said it.
It's gonna it'll beat the box office of that.
Yeah,
I think
so too.
There's too many people that are anti-Snyder to be like If you go and look at people reacting to the trailer, they talk about, first thing they say is like, finally something better than Snyder, or that's better than Henry Cavill. Like they always bring up that. So there's people that are like, they want that. So it's tribal.
I think it's so funny. You guys are living in a different world than me. I do not see all this crap. I'm gonna be honest. All the people that I follow and see is no one gives a crap about this movie.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. So we'll see.
Superman factions. The next thing we're going to talk about real quick in the news is Nolan Christopher Nolan's movie. We had talked months ago about the rumors that he was doing a vampire period piece, and that was kind of the thing. Well, it turns out he's not. He's doing
So sad.
Homer's Odyssey, which is going to be insane. It's going to film with new IMAX technology all over the world. It says that they're going to go. This is going to be probably his biggest movie to date, which is pretty sick. I'll just read the cast so far. They're saying more people are joining, but it's Matt Damon.
More people are
coming
going
every
daily.
They are.
They're running.
But listen to this cast, though. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, and Charlize Theron. Like, that's...
Get rid of Zendaya and
I would
we're
agree.
talking.
Yeah, get rid of Zendaya.
Well, apparently she's not in it very much. She's just like a few scenes. But I'm still like... And they're saying more people are... There's some big names that are still going to join the cast. I'm like, this is going to be pretty epic. It also makes it interesting that Nolan said last week, before this was announced, that Gladiator 2 was his favorite movie of 2024.
He's like, and I'm going to blow it out of the
And
water.
he talked about how just that whole world and that whole look, that it was really good. He really enjoyed it. And I'm like, that makes sense. If he's going to be doing this.
So it's going to be a legit, it's not going to be like a modern interpretation.
No, it's
of
gonna
Homer's
be-
Odyssey.
Hear me out. Is Odysseus? Odysseus is the main guy, right?
Yeah.
Is Odysseus a vampire?
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, it could be. No.
That's the That's the Nolan twist. There's always a Nolan twist.
It's about
There it
time.
is.
And
he
he's
time
actually in every
travels-
one of his movies.
Hold on. He time travels into the Victorian era. There you go. We figured it out, guys.
I'm starting to not like this
Figured it
idea.
out.
What do you guys think, though?
Man, nothing for me. I mean, it's
Awesome.
a Nolan movie.
I mean, there's it's a space where not a lot of movies aren't made. There's not a lot of Greek epics, so it's a space where there's nothing. I mean, he's doing a World War II movie. That's like, there's a ton of World War II movie. Now he's doing something in a new space, and I think it's Nolan is arguably the best director around.
The best.
The most creative, or does things that are just. I think we would say the most creative man right now in directing, right?
So he says, when you said most creative man, he's like, what? In
No.
directing.
Like, if you take a direct, like all the directors, he's the guy that you don't expect. Like you never know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
And he's doing a
Yeah, but that's the
level of
problem.
work.
You do expect that he will make it crazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
So really, this next movie needs to be as straight and narrow.
that would
That's
definitely
straight- that'd
be
be- that'd blow your
oh
mind.
My gosh, it blew my mind.
I
It was
expect
just
no
like,
twist.
it had a start and an ending and a middle part, and that's all.
And
I
people's
expect
brains
Nolan to
literally
poop
explode.
gold bars at the box office.
is true.
That's what he is.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? You go expecting you're like it's a Nolan, and everyone goes, "Oh, it's Nolan. I got to see it." So, I think there's no other director like that, except for James Gunn.
Of course.
true.
Josh?
Oh,
Any
yeah, I'm
thoughts?
excited for it. I mean, it's similar to, I think I'm probably more excited about this than I was about Oppenheimer, because hearing about Oppenheimer was like, oh, okay, I think that'll be it. I'll
Yeah.
go watch it because it's a
Scientist?
Nolan movie. So this is more like, I find this subject matter a lot more
Like
interesting.
sword and sandals. Yeah.
Sword and sandals, dude. Let's go. Yeah, Greek myth. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Is Hans Zimmer doing the score? Is Ludwig?
Probably Ludwig, I would think.
Yeah.
I wish it was Hans. You know, he's got to get back to the GOAT.
Eh.
Ludwig's good and all, but
Hans is washed. It's the reason he's
Take
not
that
doing
back.
any movies.
Hans is like, "Hey,
Except
Hans,
he
I
just
got a
did
new
Doom 2.
movie. What are you thinking?" He goes, "I'm thinking drums."
he's
Yeah.
off the drums now. He's back to like that.
Zimmer,
Yeah, he's back to the what's it called? The Duke. That's what he's back to.
yeah, Zimmer, more like Simmer.
Oh,
He's not cooking anything right now.
He's always
He
cooking.
needs to get back in the game.
He's always cooking.
I think it would be. It's hard to be because like, what can you do now? Like the guy has done everything, and it's always been so.
He's like,
Hans Zimmer?
I never did.
yeah, Zimmer has done.
I never did trash cans.
I think he has.
I think he has too.
He's done.
He slid some
think of
razor
anything better.
blades on the trash cans.
Like I think maybe Lego pieces and like putting them together to make his
Like-
percut.
I've never gone into a live heart surgery. Maybe I should take some
It's an
sounds
actual
from that.
cut the
beating
flesh.
Yes. Yes.
He's the man. He's the best.
Yeah, we'll see. Give me a trailer.
I mean, it's going to be a while. When it's
Exactly.
not going to come out till, it's what, 2026? 2027,
I was going to
2028.
say 2028.
2028. I'm
We
dead.
might be
by then.
dead.
Yeah, we're dead by then.
But we're excited for it. You heard it here
maybe
first.
27. Maybe 27. who knows?
It'll probably come out before the Spider-Verse
Oh my God.
3.
You shut your mouth.
You know, they're redoing that whole thing. Do you want to talk about the game?
Yeah, we can just talk a little bit about some of the. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the winner this year, which was Astrobot. Game of the year.
Amazing. Fantastic game. Teaches you how to jump, how to float. The vibration in a controller, it's just mind-blowing.
It was funny.
Never met her.
It was like everyone, because I literally just follow gamers and, YouTubers and streamers. And everyone's like, what?
I thought it was a joke.
What game is this?
You thought they misread it?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke.
I was like, oh, okay. Like,
There's Steve Harvey standing
so
up there?
critics and studios have way more control over that one. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. I didn't know that they were more IGN than I thought. I thought he was a cool
crazy.
dude, but I was like, nah, man, that game does not deserve Game of the Year.
Yeah.
I even saw, then I was like, okay, let's look at it. Not that great.
no.
It's a platformer.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It teaches
fun,
you how to play.
but it's like,
That's it.
bro.
Yeah, it seems like they went more for like the,
Black Myth Wukong didn't win, which is a
Yeah.
sin against.
Do you know what
all.
were the games that were nominated?
It was Black Myth Wukong. That one, the indie game, the card game was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
nominated.
Balatro.
Yeah. What were the other ones?
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree,
A DLC, by the way.
which still incredible. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so a re-release. And then Metaphor ReFantasio.
Oh my gosh.
This game was weirdly popular, but it's like a drama game.
Yeah.
No Overcooked?
So I will agree that the year was a bad year, right?
as far as what
Which
was
is
nominated,
crazy because it wasn't a bad year at all. It was actually quite really good game year. Black Myth Wukong. What was this? It was a cat. Black Myth Wukong is a super good game. And these games right here, I'm just like, this crazy.
Are there any games that were like, why was that on the list?
Yeah, Astro Boy.
Why was it not on the list?
But not like what? Star Wars Outlaws came out this year.
no.
That shouldn't be on
yeah.
there.
No, not for Game of the Year.
What is another game Crystal bought that's playing all the time?
Yeah, there's games that came out right after that I would say deserves a spot on there. Like PoE 2 or for some reason Marvel Rivals is really popular right now. It has a lot of players. I'm really surprised at it. It's like Marvel's version of Overwatch. But no, I mean, I think Black Myth Wukong should have won.
Yeah,
sure.
I think for most people's, well, yeah. I've heard good things about Astrobot. It just seems strange that it would be Game of the Year. I did like their acceptance speech. They were like, we wanted to think this was a love letter to another company in Japan. And he like went on basically talking about, he's like, notice how I haven't said their name? He's like, but you know who I'm talking about. So I thought that was kind of cool that he was like, oh, this game was basically like a love letter to Nintendo platformers. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's like, you're sued.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's why he didn't say
Our lawyers,
anything.
Yeah.
Nintendo still
Like, our
wins.
lawyers will be reaching out
Yeah, he
shortly.
didn't wanna-
We will take that trophy.
You didn't want to get in trouble.
But yeah, I mean, as far as announcements, Witcher 4 was one of the big announcements. You played the Witcher games, Joel?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Are you excited for Witcher 4 or?
Yes, but CD Projekt Red really fumbled Cyberpunk, and so
Hey, the re-release is apparently is crazy. Game of the Year edition, everyone loves it.
sure, yeah. I mean that's true, but I pre-ordered, and so I played through like when it was really rough, and then I just didn't want to come back to it.
Yeah. So that was a big announcement. Borderlands 4, there was gameplay for that. So I know people are excited about Borderlands 4.
Yes, even after the horrible movie,
Yeah.
which is wild.
We just ignore that.
They announced an Okami sequel.
Okay, good.
So that's one that people have been waiting for a long time.
Whatever happened to Star Wars Eclipse? Did that game get canned?
No, it's still
There are studio issues as far as like they want to cancel the studio. Allegations.
Well, I saw that, but
Allegations.
I thought
Allegations.
because
But I
man,
don't know.
that trailer was sick
We
from the
haven't-
last time.
It's been like 2 or 3 years, right? 2 years? I think it's 2.
At least.
So it's been a
The
while.
Alan Wake guys, the guys who did Alan Wake.
No, it's the guys that do
The French studio, right?
yeah, Detroit Becoming
Okay,
Human,
right.
Heavy Rain.
Oh, Heavy
Those
Rain.
ones.
Sorry, that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like really narrative driven.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we had Helldivers last year. This year, Helldivers came
Why didn't it
out.
win Game of the
Diablo
Year?
4, big games.
Big games.
Big game.
Big game.
Helldivers is a huge game. So many people played that game, and
Yeah.
still do.
The other one of the big announcement at the end was Intergalactic, which is the new Naughty Dog game. So the guys that did The Last of Us, it's a space. You're basically like space bounty hunters. The trailer looks. I thought the trailer looked awesome. Did you watch it? Did you see it?
Yes,
You didn't like it?
Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here. The main character seemed to me like it seemed just kind of like an attitude. I know there's an arc in their stories, you know, but like the attitude of like, yeah, I'm a badass here, and I'm just kind of sitting here, and I'm just gonna be a bad,
I mean, that's what we do. when
It
we sit
didn't.
at the table.
It didn't draw me in that sense, right? It didn't
That's right.
excite me about the character. I was like, I don't relate to that character, to that attitude, to that kind of chip on my shoulder.
Because you're not cool.
Because you're not one. You're not a
It
bad
could
A.
be, but
Joel.
it means that it just doesn't
Yeah.
attract me. It's kind of off-putting, that type of thing.
Isn't the point of video games to experience something different than what you experience on a daily basis?
No,
No.
no. I mean,
I'm not a
the
paladin
problem
in
is-
real life.
the
He
problem is
wants
I
a video game
experience-
of his own life.
I experience that on a daily basis. Someone like, I mean, it's just off-putting type of main character, right? And so, it's same thing like certain games, like just the characters need to be. I need to feel like I want to know about this character. I want to know about the story. Cyberpunk, for example, right? When you're getting into this character, which is V, you kind of get yourself into this character, but then also you have someone like an alter ego, which is Keanu Reeves, who's playing alternate to you. So that dynamic's really interesting, right? And The Witcher, Ciri, is a character that you already know and you've already followed, so that you already have that connection. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me with this case. I'm interested to see what they're going to do in space. It's an open world. That's what interested me more. But the main trailer just didn't catch my attention. The music at the end I liked, but the main character I was like, not really interested.
Yeah, I thought the world looked really interesting, and then all that was in-game footage,
Okay, yeah,
which looked crazy. Which I mean, they've been working on it since I think it said 2020.
the concept seems great.
Yeah.
Right? But like that was just a little nitpick that I thought, I don't know if I want to play hours of just that type of I'm a badass. What's up? You know?
Have you played a lot of their games before?
Yeah, I played Last of Us. I did the Drake
Uncharted.
Played
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Uncharted was a beautiful game.
You played number 1.
I played 2.
Okay.
I played 3 and a bit of 4.
Was there 4?
Right? No,
Yeah,
which one was Drake's
there's 4.
Fortune?
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's great.
And I watched the movie. So.
I just played the first 3. I didn't know there was a 4th.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Mix the Uncharted expert.
So
you at, Nick?
they're
Where you
good.
at?
They know how to make a game. So I'm interested to see what's up. But
Yeah, I'd put
Like,
money on them. I'd put money on them for a story-driven narrative game.
Yeah,
I don't know who else to bet. More like who'd be
Not
a safer
Rocksteady.
bet? Like what?
yeah. What other-
Hideo, Kojima. That's it.
Nintendo.
Yeah, for interesting
If
games.
that.
They
yeah,
apparently,
I think he's way too artistic. Like
Hey.
he'll sacrifice gameplay to just.
I'm scared.
Crazy.
I'm
message
scared.
artistic.
I'm scared of the guy and what he might do with like pee and stuff like that. Like,
Did you
he's
see
crazy.
the Muppet? Like there was
Crazy
the best
dude.
joke of the night at the Game Awards, where you have those two guys, the two Muppet guys that are old guys.
yeah, Stadler and what's the
Yeah, and one of them goes, "Hey, there's Jeff Keighley," and there's Hideo Kojima. You know, Jeff Keighley says that he's his friend, and they goes, "Does Hideo Kojima know about that?" And so, yeah, that was funny.
I like how they
Fair
zoomed
enough.
into his face, but you can tell no
didn't
one's
understand.
translating for him. He's like,
What did they
I
just
heard my
say?
name. No,
They
did
said
you
my
see
name and
the-
everyone
He just
laughed.
heard his own
Did
name.
you say at the beginning? So he's like, we want to say thank you to these people that are joining us, and they announced, I can't remember who it was, but some Korean Japanese guy, I can't remember what it was, but he stood up and didn't know what they were saying, but he didn't, everyone was clapping for him, the camera's on him, and he starts walking up to the stage. Right? Because he was like, he starts walking up to the
He
stage.
thinks he's getting
And
an
then-
award for something.
And then Jeff Keighley mentions someone else, so the camera goes to them. And then if you're watching when the camera pans out, like someone's talking to him, like pointing at his chair, and he's like,
Oh, poor guy.
I was just like, oh
that
man.
sucks.
Yeah, but they fly you over from Japan or Korea, and you're there, no translator, and you don't know what's going on. It's the United States. Yeah, it's got to be weird.
But best part of the show for me was 21 Pilots.
Oh, that's
doing the
Such a good-
Arcane
such a good
song, the medley they did.
Yeah, that was
so
sweet.
good. So
But
You know
Arcane should have won. They didn't win, right?
no, they
dude,
What was
stupid. They didn't win.
Fallout one.
What was it?
It was best adaptation and Fallout 1.
Fallout
which
1.
I'm guessing they
It
were
was a
like
good show.
They're like
They won
Arcane-
the first year, though.
Right, so I'm guessing that's what it was. They were
Throw a
like,
bone to Fallout.
yeah,
See,
they
that's
were
my
throwing
problem.
a bone to Xbox.
They're not being honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way.
We're talking about Fallout.
And I like the show.
We're talking about Fallout in the same sentence as
Fallout.
Arcane.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Best
What a
adaptation.
joke.
So, is it true that Arcane didn't make a profit? And,
That's true.
And didn't translate viewers to players.
Of course not.
Yeah, I'm sure people.
No. It goes
people
the other
watch
way around.
Arcane
It's the
and then
other
they
way
start
around.
playing, and they're like, "Oh my
It's-
gosh, what is this?"
Well, that's not their cycle. The cycle is to farm money from their game to fuel the show.
Okay,
Right.
That's
Because
it.
then they sell those skins in game for like $20 and they're like, look at all the money we made.
all right, there it is.
I would say the
Great
same
show,
thing
though.
for the Fallout show though. How many more people were like, oh, I'm gonna pick up Fallout?
I think Fallout
76.
translates way better for
That's
sure.
true because
100%.
I mean, it's
Well, one's
right?
one's a competitive game, and one's a story game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get in there to find great narrative, and people are like, "What are you taking? Jungle? Taking?"
No, it's not even that. It's like, yo, you're an idiot. Go off yourself. It's like League of Legends players are the worst. They are brutal, man.
This universe really is dark.
It truly is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Game Awards.
All right. Well, we're going to jump to the next thing here. We're going to talk real quick about Skeleton Crew episode 5. We're just going to do a quick kind of recap, talk about a little bit, just get caught up. And then we're going to talk about our most anticipated lists from last year, see who had the better list. Skeleton Crew. Episode 5. What'd you guys think? I really liked it. I think every episode just gets better. The mysteries they're doing kind of, I'm a sucker for booby traps, Indiana Jones, Goonies, that kind of stuff.
Did you ever think he would say that sentence? I'm a sucker for booby traps.
Well, I thought he was gonna stop short. Yeah, I thought he was gonna stop short on that sentence.
But I just liked seeing booby traps in Star Wars.
Nothing.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Booby traps.
Okay.
I just think it's really good. The characters are working well together. I think it's really interesting. The Jod dynamic, like he keeps showing like that he's
He
able
is
to
a
use
Jedi.
the Force.
Yeah, he is a Jedi.
And he uses the whole thing about it's not good to have attachments.
He's a Force user.
Yeah.
So to me, I just think it's really cool. I'm really liking it. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that is the most like interesting development. Like he doesn't like you see him walk away from Wim, like he doesn't want to talk to him, and then he's like, "All right, let's have this conversation." But yeah, just the fact that he throws in kind of those Jedi teachings of not having attachments, I think that's interesting because the whole time before I was like, he's not really a Force user; he's doing some type of trick. But like I think at this point, he's proved he's Force sensitive, right? Was a Jedi, who knows? That was a sweet lightsaber he got.
That was
by
a
the
sweet
way.
lightsaber he got.
I haven't checked to see if it's a lightsaber we've seen before or anything like that. I'm sure on the internet people have already started looking at it. But yeah, I thought the episode was really cool. Again, another interesting planet, like the adult resort planet.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Hot Springs. Hot Springs.
Springs.
Planet.
Yeah.
Hot mud.
And then it was cool getting like the that bounty hunter character coming in. It's like,
Yeah, she looked cool too.
and we get another
Pocket.
name for. I like how they're like, how many names does this guy have? Because he's basically just like double crossed everybody. But yeah, I thought again, the creature design is cool with all the aliens and stuff. Cool planet, and yeah, I'm interested to see where the story goes.
Yeah. I think for me, I like the fact that they're doing the cutbacks to Atten with the parents and like trying to figure stuff out, and he gets caught, and he's like, he has no idea what he's doing because what has their life been like? It's always been the same, and now they're kind of trying to go against the system a little bit. I think that's an interesting. I want to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Like, so what end is that gonna?
And I like how we got a little more information. Like we now know that Atten is one of the last mints for the Old Republic, so they make the money. So if they're doing that,
we kind of knew we were on that,
right? But
trail.
That's the treasure of like,
cool.
and if they don't know that the Old Republic is gone,
Right.
they've just been continuing to make money, like they're still going as if the Old Republic is still in existence.
Yeah.
So I just think that's kind of cool to see that development. I do think Jod is, if I'm to throw a theory out there, I think he was a Padawan when Order 66 happened.
Are we going to get another flashback to Order 66?
Maybe, but I do think it would make sense. All the names he has is because he was trying to escape the purge. So he had to change names. He got into the life of being a pirate, all this kind of stuff. So that's what I think, because he still kind of has these Jedi teachings, but they're limited to kind of like attachments are bad, this whole thing. So it seems like someone that was taught early on and then never finished his training. So he's been stopped, but he still can do like the basic, like, force pull and that kind of stuff. So I think
leveled up yet.
I think that's going to be revealed that he was a Padawan and that kind of stuff happened. Yeah. But,
Joel, have you been watching it?
I can't speak to where you guys are at because I've seen part of it. I was watching it with my wife and she liked it, and
it's a good one to watch with kids or other people.
I liked it. I really liked it. It was just a couple of weeks before coming up here, so
we are spoiling it a little bit for you. But
it's fine.
It's a fun one.
Maybe we'll get some time and I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, I when Wim got a hold of that lightsaber. I literally thought to myself, he's got it upside down. And when he opened it,
sick.
I'm like, yes, that's perfect. Moment. That's so good.
I think they're going to give him a moment. I felt bad for him because like that's all he wants. Like he's like, I want that moment, right?
Yeah, that's.
I think
exactly
they're going to give him a moment
well.
at the end of the season to be like
have a moment
where he has that. But
is this going to be like multiple seasons or just one?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they just said one. I think they might continue some of the storylines through, but I don't think they're going to do a Skeleton Crew season 2.
I think they talked about like, I think the director was like, we have some ideas, but that's one of those things that if you have an idea, you gotta have already started production because these kids are going to grow up.
That's true.
I have a couple questions. I'm wondering, will we see who the supervisor is? Like the person who's like running.
I got a theory on that.
Okay. How did everyone on the ship die when it crashed? Like they talked about them having a mutiny.
Yeah.
But usually there's a winner at the end, but maybe they just all died. Whatever. But that's interesting. Then with the adults, are they gonna what's the end goal for them? Right? I think they're gonna uncover some stuff and have some realizations, but like I don't know if they have ships or anything.
Yeah.
How many episodes do we have more? Like 3 more?
3 more.
So it's like, it'll be interesting to see what kind of stuff they can cover. And it seems like they're on the back end of it. They're ready to, they found the coordinates and stuff.
Yeah. My theory is the OG pirate is the supervisor.
Yeah, that's my theory as well. Yeah.
Is that he crash landed there. He killed everybody, left his ship there, and he figured out how to become the supervisor. That's why they're still doing everything, because he's manipulated them to
And he can have
to do that, all
money.
that kind of stuff. Infinite money.
That's right.
That's why they didn't show in the hologram. You couldn't see who it was.
Yeah, because we think it's him, the captain. Yep, I agree. I think that's where we're heading.
If you haven't watched the Skeleton Crew and you're being spoiled, you should go back and watch it, because it's still fun. It's a lot of fun. we'll be talking about next week about the next episode. So make sure you come back for that. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into
every year, beginning, end of year, we go on this fun little exploration of what's going to happen next year, right? What's going to happen? And we are stupid enough to write out what we think is going to be good.
Most anticipated list. Next week, I think we'll be doing our most anticipated for 2025. But this is our 2024. I've got the list here. How do you guys want to do it? Do you want me to just read off what we said and debate?
I mean,
Joel will help us to decide which one had the better list.
Impartial.
But so Mick, who's not here, I'm just going to read off his list. His number 10 was Furiosa. Josh's number 10 was the Diablo expansion. Okay. Corey's number 10. Now there's a little issue here.
I remember this.
Dude, I don't remember.
So Corey said X-Men 97.
Good answer.
At the end of the episode, you wanted to replace that with War of the Rohirrim.
Oh, I'm a genius. Well, it looks like I get both of them.
So you've got to get one. So which one? We're going to allow him to have. I think in the podcast we said he couldn't, but I feel those are on par. Which one do you want to be your 10? X-Men 97?
Why are they so mean to me?
Or War of the Rohirrim?
I think I'm taking X-Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Rebel Moon Part 2.
Sorry.
Which I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, guys.
And
I thought the director's cuts were better.
Yeah. Nice. Less clothing.
No, I think the stuff he put in the story was better.
Okay.
But anyway, as number 10s go, if I were to give a point here,
oh my gosh.
if I were to give a point here, I would give it X-Men 97. X-Men 97 was great. It's the he's the only. Well, I'm just saying he's the only person that put it on the list. We had it as honorable mentions.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
so X-Men 97.
Face easy. What? That's not. We're not doing 10s for 10s. We're doing all lists.
No. Yes. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if we're just discussing,
I'm like, I do agree. I do like the Diablo expansion. It's probably a good 10 spot for me, but X-Men 97
like a top 5 position.
And
it should be way higher.
And just to say
turned
this,
out so well.
So X-Men 97 was the only one on all the lists. Furiosa was for Mix was the only Furiosa on the list. And Rebel Moon Part 2 was the only one.
Yeah.
Diablo expansion Corey had on his list higher up. So number 9, Mick had Gladiator 2. Josh had Masters of the Air. Corey had Light No Fire. Did that come out?
It did not.
No. Okay. So we're moving it to next year's list.
Okay. Yeah. And I had Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 was good. I enjoyed Gladiator 2. It would be better if the first one didn't exist.
Wow.
But you're comparing it to the first one. And Masters of the Air, I thought it was great, and Josh should have had that higher. Just saying that.
It wasn't even on your list, though.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. At number 3.
Oh. At number 3?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're
going to have to double check this list.
Number 8, Mick had Joker 2. Josh had Planet of... Joker 2 is good. Joker 2 is good.
Okay. Don't
let the people fool you. Joker 2 is good. Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that was good.
Corey had Gladiator 2 at 8. And I had the live action Avatar.
Did you watch it?
I didn't finish it.
Live action Avatar.
Come on. It wasn't bad.
I got bored with it. It was hard for me to finish it. I got to I have 2 episodes left, and I still haven't gotten back to it.
Soulless.
Yeah, it was a 6.
Yeah.
That's what I would put it at.
And missing the heart of what?
Yeah.
I will say about Joker 2, don't believe what the critics are saying.
He's not getting paid to do this.
Joker 2 was very unique.
Yeah.
And it had a story to tell. And cinematography, did you watch it?
No, I did. I watched enough to be like, not interested.
What do you mean you watched
What do you mean you watched enough?
I watched him tap dance without tap dancing. Right?
So you watched one scene that's in his mind.
Like 3 or 4 scenes, yeah.
There's only one tap dancing scene.
No, I didn't say in every scene. I said, why are you defending Joker 2?
Because it's what I'm saying is it's better than people are saying. And if you actually watch the whole movie,
What'd you
people
give
were
it?
saying it was abysmal.
What'd you give
if it's
it?
a little better than abysmal.
I gave it like an 8 something.
Oh my god!
I think we both gave it some. It's seriously spoiler alert, Joker's number 7 on my list. Joker 2. It seriously is. I think it's worth a watch. Everyone should watch it because it's a unique storytelling experience. I mean, if our complaint is everything's cookie cutter, everything's basic, everything's predictable, Joker 2 is not that.
The acting is great. The music really works. The cinematography it's one of the best looking movies of the year.
Hey, man, I mean, if anything this podcast has done for me is it puts a gun to my head and says, hey, you need to watch this so you can tell Jonah how wrong he is.
There you go.
And so
Hey, I just bought
need to
Joker
watch
2
it.
on Steelbook. So if you want to borrow it, you got it.
I don't have anything to play it with.
I've got Movies Anywhere. I'll give you my login. You can watch it.
And you out there, if you would also like to watch it, Jonah will give you his
He'll give you his
Movies
code.
Anywhere
Number
code.
7, Deadpool 3 was Mix. Josh had Joker 2. Corey had Path of Exile 2.
Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. Yes. Let's
and
go.
I had
Dang, I
Kingdom of the
clutched
Planet
up.
of the Apes. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was great. Great movie.
Dang.
So good. I can't
good.
say anything about Path of Exile 2, but Corey says it's awesome.
Dang, dude.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
It destroyed Diablo 4.
on
its
I wouldn't
release,
say that though.
It took all of its players. And there was like double digits of people streaming it on Twitch, and then there's just everyone playing it on Twitch on PoE for PoE too. It was crazy. Like the exodus was wild.
Yeah.
Who knows in a year or two, but for like 3 months, it's been wild.
Well, I mean, like I'll push back on that a little because I follow groups and they're like, this killed Diablo, and I'm like,
No.
well,
Temporarily. You can temporarily.
launched Diablo launched its expansion and its season, and it's the end of their season. So like everyone was already done playing the season anyway. And yeah, I mean, there was a big move over. I played
Oh, well, Spiritborn or whatever it's called, whatever that. I
Yeah,
mean,
Spiritborn.
That just came out. Like it came out before that.
yeah, but it came out and the season launched and the season story, everyone finished it. Right. So like the expansion launched how many months ago? Like October?
I don't think people played Diablo 4 for its story. Like
No, I
for
mean,
staying
I
power.
mean, like the elements of the season journey. Let's say.
Okay.
I finished the season journey
Sure.
like 3 weeks before the PoEs came out.
Yeah.
And when it came out, I got it and I played it and I'm playing it, and but it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, when the Diablo new season starts up, I'm not gonna go over there and play it. And so I mean, you can play 2 games at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
I didn't say you couldn't.
But yeah, I think that whole this is the killer. And they're very different actually. Like they have very different styles, and so I think that also plays into it.
I would say that Path of Exile is closer to Diablo 2 than Diablo 4 is to Diablo 2,
That's true.
which is interesting.
That's true.
Anyway, huge hit. Path of Exile, wildly successful this year. I'm still playing it.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Mick had
good.
But Deadpool is, I would say, arguably one of the most popular movies this
and
year.
Mick was the only one that had Deadpool
Yeah.
3 on there.
Yeah. I would probably say for the general public, either Path of Exile or Deadpool, but
Number 6, Mick had Avatar live action. Josh had Rings of Power.
yeah.
And Corey had Tales of the Jedi.
Oh yeah. That was good.
And I had
I loved
Yeah,
it.
at the beginning of the year, didn't it?
The Acolytes.
It's good.
You had the Acolyte?
I had The Acolyte at 6. Which, in my defense, The Acolyte's lower on mine. Josh had it at number 2.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yep.
buddy.
Well,
Right? Am I correct?
well, we were
What?
quite
You have an Acolyte
misled.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The average the label was quite different than the
Yes.
contents of the
That's
product.
true. Agreed.
Number 5, Mick had Rings of Power. Josh had The Penguin. Corey had Diablo 4 expansion. And I had The Penguin as well at number 5.
No, I had Diablo 4 expansion higher than Path of Exile
good.
too.
So
Respect that.
I think Penguin was one of the best shows
Yeah.
of the year. Diablo 4 expansion, I think, was awesome. You guys would agree with that. Rings of Power at 5. I really enjoyed.
I think it's fair out of 5.
Mick had Penguin at 4. Josh had Dune 2. Corey had Dune 2 as well. And I had Joker 2 at 4. Number 3. Number 3. Mick had Arcane. Josh had Arcane. Corey had Solo Leveling.
It's an anime.
And then I had Masters of the Air at 3. Mick had War of the Rohirrim at 2. Josh had The Acolyte at 2. Ooh, rough. Corey had Arcane at 2.
Season 2 at number 2.
And I had Rings of Power at 2. Number 1, Mick had Dune Part 2. Josh had War of the Rohirrim. Corey had WoW, The War Within. And I had The Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim. Those were our lists.
Yeah. Pretty good, honestly. I think we did pretty decent.
I mean, yeah.
I think we did pretty good.
I think
there's a couple missteps.
What's interesting
the
is
Acolyte, maybe not so great.
we're talking about Skeleton Crew right now, and there no one has. I had it as an honorable mention.
yeah.
No one had Fallout. I have Fallout as an honorable mention. I had Transformers 1 honorable mention.
You had like 18 honorable mentions.
Yeah, you said a billion things. It was against the rules.
No, I'm just saying. But that's just kind of interesting. So the ones that one person only had was Furiosa and Deadpool 3. I think that's it. On Mix. On Josh's, I think everything else was, you didn't have anything that was
Original.
solo.
Very cookie cutter.
Corey had Light No Fire, Path of Exile, Tales of the Jedi,
Yo,
and Solo Leveling.
I'm telling you, if Light No Fire came out this year, game changing, life changing.
yeah.
Solo Leveling. Did that come out or?
It did, yeah. It's a manhwa, so it's a Korean anime, and very, very highly rated, very anticipated.
Yeah, but what would you rate it?
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, but I had already read all the books and stuff, and so for me, it was just like, can it live up to the hype of which, the actual manhwa was? And yeah, I think they did a really good job, and they're coming out. Actually, season 2 is coming out this year in July, I think, June or I think July, and people are stoked. They're rated really high. I think it got like a 9.3 or something like that for anime lists, which is kind of the big website for animes. But yeah, really good.
So
Really good. It lived up to my expectations.
I know this is going to be kind of lame, like, because people are going to be like, "Oh, you're just not being honest." But if you look at your list, is there something on your list that you would?
I can't look at the list.
That you would say, I wish I wouldn't have put it on the list. So when I look at mine,
Yeah.
I'm good with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Masters of the Air, Penguin, Joker 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Gladiator 2. The ones I would probably take off: Acolyte, Avatar, live action,
Yeah.
and I'd probably replace Rebel Moon with X-Men 97.
Probably.
So those are the 3 that I'm like, Josh, is there on your list?
I think the only one I would boot is the Acolyte. I'm pretty happy with everything else.
Can I see my list real quick?
I think I would probably just change. I would probably just change the order of things.
Yeah.
For me, Arcane is number 1.
Okay.
I think Arcane should be number 1 on the list.
Okay.
But as far
So you'd
as
change your order, but you wouldn't take anything off.
You take Acolyte off,
I'm kicking Acolyte out of
Acolyte.
there.
Okay. And that was your number 2?
Yep,
which is pretty high
that's
up there.
pretty high
So
up there.
I don't have any 1, 2, 3, or 4 like that. I'm like, oh, that's a huge mistake. Light No Fire just didn't come out. And so that's a bummer. That's pretty much it. I love Tales of the Jedi. I really enjoyed it. Maybe Diablo 4 expansion is a little higher. Maybe I should have put Path of Exile higher, but no. I mean, this really comes down to how much time you've spent, and really it kind of goes down the list. But yeah, X-Men should be higher. I think X-Men 97 and Arcane Season 2 were hands down the best storytelling, animation, and just like just general stories and experiences all of this year. So I think I'm proud of the X-Men and the Arcane 2 picks. Those are big picks right there.
You mean Gladiator though?
Gladiator. Well, I didn't watch it, so yeah, maybe I should have watched it. But yeah, no, I think unfortunate Light No Fire didn't come out. I'm really stoked for that game. Their track record isn't the best, but it's better than a lot of companies are. They're
the No Man's Sky guys.
The No Man's Sky guys, and they really they released a game that looked good, but they didn't actually like translate what they promised. They lied to people. They said you could find each other. It was multiplayer. Yeah, in fact, it was not. They lied to them. But what most companies don't do is what they did, which was correct it. And their game in its current state is a really awesome open world. Yeah.
And they didn't stop. Like they just
they keep it.
They did what they were promised, and then they went beyond that and beyond that and beyond that, and they just kept on going, and it was wild.
It's like exactly. And they were trying to earn back the favor and trust of the fans and players because they know how much they messed up. Because they thought to themselves, "There's no way they'd ever do this."
Yeah,
that's your first mistake. We will always try. Anyway, but I don't think it's fair to judge my list against your guys's because mine is very game and anime. So no, I'm a different class.
I can do it.
Oh, but you're biased.
I'm an expert.
Okay,
I'm an expert in this.
All right.
I feel like that's the only way that we can agree because honestly I think they're pretty.
I was going to say
it's either
Mick's list is better than my list, so I was going to take myself out.
I was going to say...
Oh, no worries. I'll take you out.
I was going to say compare...
Well, after you mentioned that silly thing about Joker, I knew I wasn't going to win because you don't understand.
You're a fool.
I watched a few clips and then I can say something's bad.
I'm going to watch it.
Wait,
I'm going to watch it.
Can I just say something?
I don't want to watch it openly.
No, you're not. You can't now. You can't now.
No.
Because you're doing that as spite now.
I'm going to watch it.
Can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead, please.
For the people who don't know, Joel is their brother.
That's right. The best one.
Straighten that one out. You'll get this all the time. The best brother.
There's a tier list.
He's the farthest south brother. Is there a tier list?
Yeah, I don't think you're S tier.
I think everyone's made their tier list already.
I think mine should be either first or last because of your guys' preferences. You know what I mean? If Mick was here and Joel wasn't, I would be outmanned. You know what I mean? Because my opinion of solo leveling, well, it doesn't matter because you guys don't even know what it is or maybe have heard of it but didn't watch it. So things like that, it's like, Path of Exile, For me, I'm like, incredible game, super fun. I'm still playing it. Solo leveling, super stoked for season 2 to come out. Season 1 was great. But yeah, I would say Josh's unfortunate placement of the Acolyte.
He has Acolytes.
That's the thing that brings it down a little bit.
That's the only thing. Dune 2,
yeah,
top 5. Arcane, top 3. Like I said, I would have put it higher.
Yes. I should have put it higher too. I should have had it number 1, but I had it number 2, which is the highest placement, right? Can I see the list one more time, Jonah? I just want to look. I know it's hard to get it over here. Yeah. Right there. So how are we going to do this, guys?
That's me.
Do we just vote and you can't vote for yourself?
No, I'm the third. I'll give my opinions.
I honestly think it's pretty close.
I think it is really close.
I feel like
looking at Josh's list, if I were to for my taste,
Jonah's?
It's not on there because I have it on my phone. For my taste, I didn't get Arcane on there, which is a big loss. So I should be eliminated for that.
Okay. Avatar being on people's lists. Oh, Mix.
That's the thing.
Is it on
Avatar's on Mix, but it's not on Josh's.
Smart.
But the Acolyte is not on Mix, and it's on Josh's. So that's where, because I'm like, good. He has Furiosa on there, which I think is a good movie. Which I like.
Is a top 10 though.
I liked it better than the Fury Road.
None of you guys put Tales of the Jedi. I'm surprised by that.
And yeah, so everything else, and he's got
number
Deadpool
1
3.
War of Rohirrim. I don't think it's a one worthy though, personally. That's the only thing with Josh is his top 3 are kind of.
I mean, his Arcane is good. I think Masters of the Air should be higher.
Okay.
See your list, Jonah?
Yeah, I'm not in this running. I already took myself out
Yeah, he's
So
out.
let me
because I had Avatar and the Acolyte, Rebel Moon 2. You know, so
Can I give the man on the
And
street
no Arcane.
opinion?
Of course you can. You're our honored guest.
That's right. Top on the tier, baby. So here's my opinion. Mick, he gets points taken off because he's not here. You got to represent your list.
He gets automatically.
That's right.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say that right here.
Okay.
It's the end of this is an important date, right? I came up from Mexico to be here.
Yes.
Presents the reading of this list.
Right.
And it's you know, and anyway, I'm not going to say anything else after that. But Jonah's been taking himself. I think that Jonah regrets his list the most because Jonah's the guy who tends to risk the most, right?
So
he's
bonus
always
points for that.
he's always a
Honor point.
win big or go home, right? Like so he does the Hail Marys every time the new show's coming out. Han Solo's always on that list. Right? He
that's
always
more of a joke. That's more of a
like
joke.
a joke about Han Solo.
Yeah.
But he is, I mean, traditionally, he's always like a guy who pushes the envelope. And I think that either he wins
Jonah.
incredibly. He's saying such nice things to
About you. Isn't that nice?
I'm waiting for the backhanded.
Either he wins
come on.
incredibly or he crashes and fails.
Right.
terribly.
And so did he crash?
But that's just his life. I think that
I wouldn't say I crashed.
he didn't crash.
I said I was
but-
off by one.
But he was off by a couple, right?
By one?
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think the fact that you just have Rebel Moon on there.
But it's a 10 because it's our anticipation list.
that is true.
So if it's just a 10, it just snuck in there.
Yeah.
See, I think my list is actually pretty good. If I would have put Arcane on there instead of one
Nah,
of these,
man.
it
But
changes
see,
it.
you
No.
had a ton of things in honorary mentions that should have been up there, right? And your list would have probably won after that. But you know, anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I'm one off.
Josh, you should have X-Men on there.
And you didn't have Dune 2 on there.
No.
You know, Josh has a little bit of egg on his face
Tell me why.
because we can all agree when he said number 2 Acolyte, everyone just kind of moaned.
Oh yeah, I know, but
And it
like
was
Tony
painful.
said,
Mistake.
we were
It was
expecting great
painful.
things.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But
The High Republic.
here's the
have
thing.
you ever heard of it?
Agreed. But it was so. I think
ever heard of
that
it?
experience of the Acolyte was so painful to all of us
Yeah.
that you're just rehashing our trauma, and that's not your fault. We were all traumatized, right? And that's okay. That's okay.
I love how you're putting this voice on. And it's not your
It's okay.
fault.
No. I'm being empathetic here. It's
Yes.
my empathetic voice.
Good.
All right. Now, Corey, what I like about his list is it's more diverse than anyone else's,
Well,
right?
I'm a diverse guy. What
So
can
I
say?
appreciate that. I appreciate the diversity. I think he
But
went
he
out
gets
on a limb.
he gets less points for. He technically only has 9 things that came out. We have 10.
Okay, now that's true. That is true.
It's a risk. It's a risk he
That
took.
would be something.
It's like when Josh put a table and it was late.
I was about to say that, right? the thing about Corey is that's the only negative thing on this list that it didn't come out. Everything else was a win, and so I think that right there is a testament to who has the best list. Right?
Is it really variety though when you have 3 games?
How many games did you have?
Anime, games,
Quick question.
I mean,
Well, I'm
technically,
asking, how
War
many
of the
games?
Rohirrim is anime.
right?
It is.
But
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
on my
had
list.
everything else was TVs and movies.
And
That
the
was
video
it.
game. I got Diablo
Right.
4 expansion.
So sure, but I think Corey wins above that little thing. The Acolyte. If Josh could have gotten some, put another table in, man. Like that was
No. I put things that came out. That's my deal. All
right.
I think my
man on the
Acolyte 2
street. Vote goes to Corey.
Wow, thanks, man.
Close second, Josh.
Wow.
Okay.
Jonah third, and Mick is not even in the running because he's not here.
Okay. Well,
right.
there you go. Well, I think I lose because I think Mick, Jonah, and Josh will agree that Josh has the better list. So I think he does win by majority, unfortunately.
Mick, are you voting out there?
Well, he's also
what do you
not here. So we could call it a tie if you wanted to. But
Hey, I can call Mick right now
I
and patch
know
him
that-
through.
I know
You guys
that-
want me to
Call Mick.
patch him through?
we're not walking through.
As he's coughing.
I think that you guys have a big mistake in not having X-Men 97.
Yeah.
That was such
That
a
is a
good
big-
When I
show,
went,
bro.
When I went through that,
Did
I
you
was
watch
like,
that?
how do we not
Yeah.
get it?
Oh, thank goodness you watched it. Because, dude, and this isn't even like pure nostalgia, like carrying it. The
No, it was so
story
good.
was so good.
Yeah.
The voice acting was perfect. Like everything was great.
I think we kept it. I think the conversation was
man.
like, hey, the old one was good, but I had rewatched it and I was like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
dated.
Yes.
Well, we
And
also
then I was
felt
like, let's see how
there was
what is
some
this
stuff
gonna
that
look
the
like?
writers had said that we're like, are they going to screw this up?
Yeah.
And so
And they
we were
didn't.
like,
That's
they
one of the
didn't.
things also we worry about is the adaptation. Like, how are they going to modernize it? Dude, it looked
Yeah.
awesome.
So good.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
just
good.
perfectly upscaled.
And
The
I'll say
same
this,
exact style.
sneak peek for my most anticipated for next week. Switch 2, baby. I'm gonna have a console on there.
There you go.
Diversity.
All right.
Diverse.
Okay, I like that. See, the man on the street
awesome.
likes that. If you guys can diversify a little more.
Oh, and most
better.
anticipated also going to be One Piece.
Okay.
Oh, the movie.
Because Joby, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, Joby. You hear me, son? You hear me?
Hear me, son?
I'm going to earn the fact that I can wear that sweatshirt.
What are you committing to? How many episodes?
I don't know.
How
We'll
many
see.
seasons?
We'll see. Let me start it and we'll see.
Because there's over to like 1,200
Yeah.
episodes.
Like the anime? Jeez.
The anime is like
He said
1,300.
he said
I'm
it
not
would take me
into,
2 weeks to binge it.
Like, what? No
If I
sleep.
did full, like straight through.
24
No.
hours straight.
Jeez.
It's like, yeah, if you
No.
just didn't, that's
It would
all you
take
did.
you
Just having it
like
playing on your
months.
phone all the time.
It'll take
it
you
would
months.
take you months. Yeah.
And you'd have to listen to it dubbed over for sure. You can't do subtitled
Yeah.
because you can't live looking at a screen
That's
every
true.
waking hour. So you'd have to do it dubbed for sure. I think overall we did a really good job. How about that? How about we pat ourselves on the back?
There we go.
I think we did really good, guys. Really good, really good, really good.
Oh, I hit the wrong one. It's gonna keep going.
It's a
until I press
joke.
it. Where's the applause on this?
I don't know.
I don't know,
Ah,
man.
man.
Take it off. Yeah. I don't know.
Is there anything that we missed the mark? 100% missed something.
Like something that came out that was
Some
really good?
breakout, some breakout thing that we just didn't catch. We didn't anticipate it. Is there anything you guys can think
Would
of?
Skeleton Crew be on that?
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
Skeleton
I
Crew
think
is one of
so.
those that's like, oh,
It's got a 10 mark. Maybe you could put it in a 10 position.
yeah.
I really like
'Cause it's
Fallout.
really good. No, really?
I really like Fallout.
I thought Fallout was
a top
good.
10 or like a 12?
If I'm looking at my list and I'm like, take the Acolyte out, I could put Fallout in there. I could put X-Men 97.
Have you enjoyed Fallout more than Skeleton Crew? Because I
No.
like Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
I like Skeleton Crew more,
I
but
think
it's just
Skeleton
more
Crew.
like wholesome. The thing with Fallout is
I
like
didn't-
it's so dark and it gets kind of like
Yeah, it is dark.
it's like rough. But I thought the storyline was really good.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys can think of that we missed?
I think none of the Marvel movies were really any good.
No.
No.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3, that's one that was on Mick's list that I was like,
Mick
that was
got it.
actually a good one.
No, Mick got it. That was good. That's probably a standout call. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think we did pretty good. Not bad, boys.
Mario Party Jamboree.
Come on, you gotta start putting those
I know I
Nintendo
gotta
games
put
on
the
there.
Switch games on there.
Yeah, man. Because next year Joel's coming back
I mean,
up
The thing is,
just for this.
the problem with Nintendo is they announce things because I totally would if
Wait, what's
I knew
wrong?
before Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, yeah,
I would have
yeah,
put that
yeah,
one
yeah.
on there, but they didn't announce that till it was like,
Well,
well, in 3 months it's done.
Yeah.
I would love to do not like an anticipated on what are the games release games coming out with those guys. Like, are they going to give us a Mario Kart right off the rip?
That's the
Probably
rumor.
That might
yeah.
be the rumor. Are we getting anything crazy?
Oh, that's one. Secret Level. I would if I knew
Oh,
I knew
yeah.
Secret Level was coming out. We didn't find out until like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
would have put Secret
was
Level
really
on the
cool.
top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you have
that's
it.
fun.
Yeah, we'll see what our next year's list looks like.
Yeah, next week we will be doing our most anticipated list for 2025. Spider-Man, right?
Oh my
That
god.
comes out in 2027.
No, it's not.
They're redoing the whole movie, dude.
I kind of want to. I feel like I have to put it on my list.
No way.
I do.
I hope you do.
Just like too much smoke, no fire. What's it called?
Light no fire. Oh, true.
I gotta, yeah, I'm putting that.
bro.
Let's go.
Too much smoke.
Let's go, baby. I'm running it back.
Here's the
And they
question.
haven't done any updates on
I
this
know.
at all. I'm just like,
Here's the question: will Superman be on your list?
See,
on my list.
I don't know
Well.
what's coming out next year. I'll have to look, but I don't think there's a lot coming out, so it might sneak in there. But I don't know. After that trailer,
My
I'll put
list is
another
going to be
table
just a
on there
bunch of
before.
Henry Cavill projects. Highlander, Warhammer.
40K.
His 40K is not coming out next year, is it?
No.
He like just started the creative process.
Yeah. All right.
Nice. that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Nerd Age podcast. You can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on X. We'll be back next week with more of the Nerd Age. Thanks for hanging out with us. See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.